Hi guys, Stefy here, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually going to be a review on a new product by Max Factor, and it's the Smooth Miracle Primer. Now you guys would have heard me talk about the first primer that Max Factor launched, I think it was about 2 years ago, which was the Max Factor Facefinity 3-in-1 Facefinity All Day Primer SPF 20. The 3-in-1 is the foundation. Sorry about that guys, about that. So basically, if I just give you a recap of the, I know I've got two in my hands because this is my backup for this one because this is nearly done, and I love this. I used to love it, I still do love it, but basically I just want to talk and ramble about this. So basically, just give you a recap of the first primer that Max Factor came out with. This one has SPF 20, so this was very similar to the foundation, the 3-in-1 foundation. This one basically was more, I would say, liquidy in comparison to the new one. So that's the first thing I want to tell you guys about. And also, this was very good for me personally. I used to use this primer by itself on a hot summer's day every day to protect my skin from any UV and stuff like that. So I used to use this even by itself. I wasn't wearing any makeup, I'll just wear this by itself. The first thing in that you can notice on the packaging of the new Smooth Miracle Primer that there's no claims of SPF. So that straight away tells me that there's no SPF in this primer. It's a new, so there's a difference between the two primers. So if you don't want any SPF in your primer because maybe your moisturizer already has SPF in it, you're not adding any more SPF onto your skin. So it's just that added extra thing. So that's the first thing. So next I'm going to tell you about my skin type and stuff like that. So I have oily to combination skin. So I tend to get an oily T-zone, and also that can be slightly sensitive as well. So I've got a bit of a range of different kind of skin tones all in one. So I've actually tested this for 2 weeks every day. So whenever I went to work, I used to put this on underneath my foundation, and I used to test it out for a whole day. Sometimes I used to wear it from 7 o'clock in the morning till maybe 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I used to wear it maybe till 5 o'clock. It really depends, but I wanted to try it with different techniques. So let me just give you a bit of an overview. I've actually done some research on this as well, and what it claims to have and stuff like that. So if I tell you what it claims to have, sorry, that's my phone, it keeps buzzing because I can't put on silent. The silent button doesn't work on my iPhone anymore, so sorry if you hear any buzzy noises, that's just my iPhone. So let me tell you a little bit about this quickly before we go into the demo. Seriously though, what's happening with my phone? Sorry guys. So before I actually give you my actual thoughts and review on the new primer, I thought I'd just kind of talk to you exactly what Max Factor claims it is and what it has inside the product before I personally give you any information. So basically it says that it's supposed to have a soft focus, it's supposed to have soft focus silicone elastomers and soft focus effect spheres, which work to fill in rough surfaces while providing a soft focus effect that optically blurs the edges of fine lines, wrinkles, and imperfections. It also says that it contains skincare ingredients. And also it's supposed to moisturize and condition the skin, and it also has powerful antioxidants including vitamin E, green tea, and these are all great for a healthy younger skin that's also hydrated. This is basically what I got from Max Factor and what information they gave me, and I'm just going to tell you my review on this product. So the first thing that I smelled, so let's start with the packaging. Let's start with the packaging and then go from there, because I always get, when it comes to reviews, I kind of just ramble on and don't actually go step by step. So getting into my review and my thoughts on this product, let's start with the packaging. So the packaging is gorgeous. I love the fact that Max Factor are actually going into the gold, the gold packaging. I love gold, and so I really like the gold packaging. The actual container itself is plastic, and it's literally the same container as the Ageless Elixir foundation, if you guys are familiar with that. Literally the same thing exactly. exactly. The only thing is obviously the color differences, stuff like that. That's the only difference, but it's literally the same container, just a white packaging. So this is already really good for you to travel. Doesn't break. If you drop it on the floor, it does not break or anything like that. Obviously you have the little opening. The only thing it doesn't have is some kind of lock. So oops, I just went and dropped that. Anyways, it doesn't have any lock, so if you end up without the top part like I just dropped, and someone starts squishing this, it's going to go everywhere. What I do like about the packaging, as well as same with this, even though you can only check on the bottom with this because obviously you have all the packaging. The best thing about this is one of those like push-up containers. So basically when you're kind of dispersing product, it keeps on leveling up until you're done with the product, so you will know when you need to repurchase. I love these kind of bottles because it gives you an idea when you're finishing, because when I've got the MAC Prep and Prime primer, and you never know when it's finished, and it's just annoying. But with this, you know when it's finished, so that's always a big plus. So I've actually used, I don't know how much when this starts, but I've already hit, like, this is already up here, so it's already gone up a little bit. So I'm not sure if it starts before or after the gold packaging thing, but that's that one. So packaging is done. Next, let's go in with the actual product. So I'm just going to square a little bit out on my hand. First things first, the pump itself, I feel, pumps out too much product. So I would definitely recommend half a pump, because as you can tell, I've just literally pumped up way too much. Consistency, it's white and very creamy, very different to the old primer. The primer was very, very liquidy. If you want, I can actually do a comparison. So if this is going to be the new primer, and if I get the old primer, this one actually has the lock. So the old primer actually does have the lock. So as you can tell, that's already started to drip because it is way more water based. So you can see how there's a big difference in consistency. This is thicker, where this is more of a water based product. Feeling wise, texture wise, this feels more like an actual moisturizer, if I had to be honest, and it's much thicker. So I would definitely say less is more with this product, because as you can see, this one has actually turned to water, so it's a water based one, where this is more cream. So that's the difference in the two. The feel and touch of the new primer actually feels really nice and smooth. I do like how it evens out the skin, plumps it slightly. I wouldn't say it plumps up that much, but it does go into any fine lines or wrinkles that you may have. So that's always an added plus to the whole review. And also please check out my demo, which I'm actually going to just show you right now, of me applying the product. So basically, as you can see, I'm literally just pumping it out on my hand, putting it on my face, just using my finger and just working it in with my hands. I do prefer this, since it's got more of a cream moisturizer kind of texture. I do prefer using my hands rather than a sponge or anything like that. Now, since I've got sensitive skin, I do actually go slightly red when I'm actually putting on any moisturizer or primer. That's just normal for me. Everyone is different, but basically that's the whole ideal. That's the whole reason why I tend to go red. Okay, so as you can see, you've seen the demo, you've heard my review. It's actually available locally in Malta very shortly. It has been available elsewhere for a couple of months already. But apart from that, it's a really lovely primer. I definitely recommend it to someone who wants a more thicker consistency primer, maybe wants to use the primer and taking away the moisturizer. So you can actually use this without moisturizer. I have done, basically what I did was I did 1 week with a moisturizer, 1 week without a moisturizer, and I felt that my skin still felt as smooth as it would with a moisturizer prior and not. So since it's got the skincare properties in the primer itself, it does help you eliminate that first obviously procedure, but obviously not telling you not to do your skincare regimen, because I do my skincare regimen every single day. But if you're maybe in a rush and you just don't have time to do your skincare, you just want to do a primer, a little bit of foundation, and off you go, you can actually skip that and you can just use it as a primer moisturizer as well. So I definitely recommend this product if you haven't tried it already. It's the Smooth Miracle Primer by Max Factor. Big thumbs up if you enjoyed this little review, slightly chatty review to be honest. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day, guys, and before I forget, if you're interested in this makeup look, there's actually going to be a tutorial very shortly, so stay tuned for that. Bye everyone.